Hey everybody, this is John for MTG Nexus doing some good old-fashioned Boros Burn in Modern here. So we will be trying out a slightly different list from the one we played in the last league. This one, a little bit more structured of a sideboard, similar effects in the main deck, etc. But as a friendly reminder, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, and leaving a constructive comment down below. And also, we have a brand new YouTube channel that's devoted to professional wrestling, primarily the WWE, known as No BS Wrestling. I'll be having another video hopefully going up tonight about NXT TakeOver Portland, my kind of short breakdown on that. But with that, let's get into the magic, shall we? So, we are back for Boros Burn. A couple things I wanted to give some further testing to that we've played in some of the other leagues. Those primarily being the cards Rampaging Ferostodon and Tunnel Ignis. But the main deck, we're still running the 20 lands. I'm kind of tired of getting stuck on one-landers and dying. One thing we're going to be trying to do in this league is not keep one-land hands if possible, because those seem to kill us whenever I keep them, even if they have high upside. So that'll be something to note. Another thing in this list is only 2 copies of Riftbolt. So the majority of this list was pulled from one of the lists that recently did well, other than I tweaked the sideboard numbers a little bit to fit in some cards. But the main deck is card for card one of the lists that have recently done a 5-0 or a 4-1 in some of the events. As far as the sideboard goes, 2 Path to Exile against the bigger creature decks. So anything from Tarmogoyf to Shadows, sometimes bringing in against the Primeval Titan decks, 2 copies of Rest in Peace. I probably wish that I had a third one floating around, as opposed to one of these Smash to Smithereens, but hopefully we won't run into Dredge. Beyond that, you have 3 copies of Smash here, largely as an answer to both the Urza decks, any type of Stoneforge Mystic decks running around, any of the Eldrazi Tron decks running around, just a useful card to have. Exquisite Firecraft, because I'm tired of running into Blue-Red Breach and not really having anything significant to bring in other than Core Firewalker. And then 2 copies of Rampaging Ferostodon to go with our 3 copies of Skullcrack in the main. This is primarily as a way to fight both life gain and also a decent way to attack the Amulet decks that are trying to flood the board with random zombies in addition to everything else they have going on. And then Tunnel Ignis, I believe this was first tech by, I want to say Sandy Dog MTG in his Mono Red Burn lists. Basically, every time your opponent plays or has an inland enter under their control that's not their first land drop of the turn, they take 3 damage. So, it's really kind of dumb. It also randomly hits fetch lands. Because if they go fetch land, crack it, they're taking 3 damage as well. So, Ignis has some interesting applications that I hadn't even realized until, like, rereading the card. I was just figuring, oh, it's against, X deck, and I'm like going, oh, it hits fetch lands too. That's kind of makes them wait at least till their next turn cycle to cash in their fetch lands. But anyways, it's basically all that's going on. Special with the deck. A little bit heavy on the 2 drops I'm noticing here. So maybe some of these 2-drop spells should be cut from the deck, but alas, we will see how it does. Yeah. So I hope everybody is having a good week or had a good weekend. As we are trying to do a burn league here as kind of a wrap up for content for the day. I have several other videos that are slowly making their way to downloads and such to get uploaded to the channel. I have an Amulet Field deck thing that needs recorded. I have a Blue-Red Through the Breach deck that I have to go back and record the replays of. I have a couple standard lists that I have to get uploaded, so quite a bit of content to get out to you guys over the next several days. Hand's a keep. A little bit awkward, but it's definitely a keep. Burn Mirror. Okie dokie. Serum Blaze, sure. All right. Got land out of the deal, which isn't terrible. So I could have waited to get one more trigger out of that, but it's quite possible our opponent wouldn't have actually triggered it because they knew we had the Blaze in hand if I would have played a fetch land. So, alright, yep, Lightning Helix. Probably an Eidolon turn, yep. Huh. What's up, Eduardo? How are you doing? Let's do this main phase so we can't get skull cracked. It's possible I was supposed to main phase a lava spike there. Okay, sure. So force our opponent to react with it on the stack. Boros Charm? Of course you have a Boros Charm, why wouldn't you, right? It has one card in hand. Good games, well played. And the Eidolon trigger. Alright, so we definitely want Core Firewalkers. Definitely want Path Exiles. Burn matches are a bit of a crapshoot sometimes. The mirror matches are a bit of a crapshoot sometimes. I don't really like Eidolon, especially on the draw, so I tend to take that out. Path Bring to answer opposing Core Firewalker, because obviously it's pretty good in the mirror match. Beyond that, I mean, I could bring in any other number of cards, but they're all kind of eh. Like Frostodon dies to all the bold effects. Oh my. Well, this hand's gonna deal us a ton of damage and doesn't interact with creatures well. But I still think it's a keep, because we've got 1-drop into Core Firewalker. Even if it's gonna deal us a boatload of damage. Of course, you have 1-drop yourself. Alright, that certainly helps our situation a little bit. So what about the mirror matches is difficult for you, Nick? I'm curious. Riftbolt, huh? Sure. Anybody else smell a searing blaze? What's up, Space Marine? How you doing? Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yo. Bow wow wow wow. Alright, well, I mean, sure. Yeah, if your opponent really wants to win with 4 Core Firewalker, there's not really a ton you can do about it. I agree to a certain degree, O'Doyle, but also understanding your role in the matchup is important too. Sweet. Did you play Blue-White Control? Actually, it's just better if I helix this, since I'm effectively gaining 4. Not great. Last couple leagues haven't gone well. But then again, my record in general hasn't gone well lately. Oh, I haven't even run into Amulet. That's the funny part. Let's see if I can update this. Yeah, that's like the dumb part. It wasn't even running into Amulet. It was just so yesterday was the 16th. Demir inverter combo. 5, 2, and 3. So our opponent really should be bluff attacking, like legit, no lie, should be bluff attacking. You really can beat Dredge with Burn if you want to. It requires like 6 sideboard slots, but you can beat it. Oh, before the looting bans. Yeah, that's a little more difficult. So I wouldn't... What is our opponent sitting on that they're not casting it? Doesn't feel like it's Skullcrack. And our opponent concedes, sure. Usually when I beat Dredge during its heyday, I was running some number of Rest in Pieces and some number of Tormod's Crypts. I just think the split was necessary. I still think it's difficult to play nowadays, Space Marine. It's just the trick with it now is more getting the right build than understanding the basics of the deck. Especially with Francisco putting up so much content. If you really want to learn how to play Amulet, there's like a really good resource of it now. Whereas in the past, I think before Francisco was putting out a ton of content, there wasn't really truly too many people you could go and watch play Amulet. That's the brutal part about Amulet, is Amulet is not just a combo deck. It's like a toolbox deck. It's got a lot of things going on with it, so... Oh, look, one of those one-landers we were talking about. Let's mulligan that, because... Do I just auto-mulligan the one-landers anymore? I think so. Like, I think that was something I said at the top of the broadcast, that I was going to auto-mulligan any one-landers. So, keep. Get rid of Boros Charm and... Is it Helix or Boros Charm and Boros Charm? Helix has more relevancy against other aggressive decks and as a spot removal spell. Boros Charm obviously just does more raw damage. I think I'm going to keep Helix, just because we're going to be dealing ourselves quite a bit of damage here already, so, you know. As long as I keep my expectations realistic, I'm enjoying it a lot more, yes. I think part of it was I was caught up in trying to make this something more than it was, and trying to appeal to a much larger audience, because Oof. So probably prowess. So I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to turn YouTube into something more over time. And okay, so our opponent just has double bolts, so guess we can't win? Question mark. Alright, so we're just going to helix this guy now. So I was really pressing trying to make content to appeal to a much larger audience, and was trying to speed up a process that, if it actually is going to happen, will happen over time. So no, I live in Ohio, man. I'm not going to any GPs. The only GPs that were this year are Columbus, and which I think is in a couple of weekends, and I won't be able to go anyway. And then I think there's one in Detroit and one in Columbus this year. So no, I don't frequently travel to paper Magic events anymore. It's especially right now, it's really kind of hard because first off, I'm my girlfriend's ride to work right now, so if I take time off, she also has to take time off, and she has a lot riding on her working, because she's basically paying for an entire apartment and such herself, whereas I'm still paying rent to my parents. So, and it's not in November though, if I remember correctly, or it's sometime later in the year. I suppose I haven't been too happy with Modern of late. Like, I don't know if it's just a small sample size, but like, it's just been a rough kind of go of things lately. Awkward. One of the things about this version with the more canopy lands is you tend to have less August. Yeah, that's going to be tough because I'm planning on going to Gen Con this year. So, like, I'll have the physical time off, like, from work, but I won't necessarily be able to get 2 weeks approved. So this is where mulliganing to 5 is kind of unfortunate. I mean, we're lucky in that we've been able to answer all of their threats so far, but, like, you know, how far are we from burning them out? Like, so far, they're basically at 12 right now. And, you know, while their deck doesn't feature as much burn as ours does, they still have quite a bit of burn, especially if they have a Bedlam Reveler. Yeah, like, that's like the card that allows them to win these kind of longer, grindier games. What's the microphone doing? Like, I moved it a little bit closer to me. I don't know if that helps or not. Lava spike. They seem to have a lot of burn in their version here. So basically we're dead. Alright, good luck, man. Aren't you cute for the pizza anyway, McMeaty? Alright, mirror match. Well, red-ish mirror match. Bring in the Firewalker, bringing in the paths. He's playtesting or something. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I think he qualified. If that is, what's his name? I think McMeaty is... why am I drawing a blank? Anywho, I might try something different and bring in Rest in Peace here to fight Bedlam Reveler, because that is a card that smokes our day. No, why am I bringing in Rest in Peace? I need to bring in Smash. That's what I need to bring in because of Dragon's Claw. The other copies of Skullcrack. Skullcrack's not very good at fighting Dragon's Claw. And then a couple copies of Boros Charm. It's just 3 copies of Boros Charm. Oh yeah, Through the Breach Gristlebrand was always... It was more hope they fail and hope you can apply. This hand is very awkward. Do I keep what's effectively a 5-card hand right now? I think not. Maybe? This hand's really awkward with the core Firewalker Boros Charm with no white land at all. Alright, this hand's a little bit better. Probably put back the Canyon for now. And then play out this tapped. Rather not take the damage to pass something here. Yep, I have the 1-drop, which makes life a little bit more difficult for us. So I could play Eidolon here. So what are the upsides? If I play Eidolon and they don't immediately kill it, we're in decent shape. If I just Helix this and they play another bunch of creatures, then we're behind on the boards. It's best to just kill the creature. Maybe they'll waste a bunch of resources on our face next turn. Okay. Not unexpected. But unfortunately, I couldn't mulligan to smash when we only boarded in 2. So do our opponent just keep this hand solely on the basis of having Dragon's Claw? A braid? Yep. They're a braiding goblin guide. Okay. So they brought in Blood Moon against us. All right. I think he's counting on our Eidolon burning us out with the Dragon's Claw in play. But yeah, I tend to agree he should have killed the Eidolon. Depends on what the rest of their hand is, you know? Like, we're not in good shape by any means. We have 3 cards in our hand shut off. And Bolt effectively only dealt them 1. So as garbage as their Blood Moon plan is, yep. Burst Lightning, sure. Well, the problem... Okay. So the problem with Blood Moon in this matchup is oftentimes the burn player is going to board down on Boros Charms. Firewalker is at its best in the early game anyway, before Blood Moon can come down. And... like, I'm not saying this is a bad play per se, but Blood Moon against Burn is very... Like, yes, it's good against my particular hand, but in general, Blood Moon's not a card you should be actively trying to bring in against Burn, unless you happen to be Ponza. And Ponza is just a different ballgame because they can play Blood Moon on turn 2, which is far, far more effective against Burn. I mean, I can smash this, but they're too far ahead on life and such, so that's just the game. Matchup feels really bad from the Burn side. It's tough specifically because they're better at going long than we are. Much like human, and they also have like dedicated sideboard cards against us, so it's... This hand's a little awkward, but I think it's a keep. Like, the mana for this deck feels a bit awkward with the white spells. I feel like I've played against this player before, but I can't remember what they're on. So. Jund. Or Burn. Really? 2 prowess decks in a row? And people wonder why I don't like playing Burn right now. Mic check, mic check. I don't know why it would keep acting up. And, like, I have no way of actively checking it during the broadcast. So, mono red burn. Well, is it working or is it echoing? Shard volley? Wowzers. Alright. So if people wonder why I don't like mono red burn, this is an example of why I don't like mono red burn. Because they run out of gas even faster than we do. Yep, blaze, sure. Okay. Don't think we have too much to worry from them as far as life gain spells. I'm just going to go ahead and fire off a skull crack here. Number 3. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Goblin Guide. Okay. So if we hit a Goblin Guide, sure. Goblin Guide lethal. Apparently Goblin Guide is lethal. Alright, so mono red burn. Alright, so Seal of Fire. Oh. Sorry, terrible seal impression. Okay, why would that deck run Seal of Fire? That's kind of weird. Alright, so Goblin Guide. Mono red burn. Oh, good old Sandy Dog placed again. Gotcha. What was his latest list? 2 Dragon's Claw. No Blood Moons, some Skull Cracks, some Searing Bloods. 16 creatures. So I probably want these. Might want Path. Path's kind of dubious, though. To bring those in, bring a couple smashes in. Go down the Skull Cracks. And the Boros Charm. What are you dotting now, Space Marine? Just hands a keep. Oh. Yeah, you know. Don't want to get all of my ways of dealing with creatures out of my hand here, but at the same time, I have a bolt. They're bolting my face. Interesting. 1 and 1. Beat the burn. We have literally played 3 red mirrors. They're just going straight at the face. Ah, they had a Searing Blaze. That makes more sense now. So we are in a lot of trouble this game. Okay, sure. Okay, cool. Turn in my direction. Alright. So Eidolon is certainly a double-edged sword in this matchup. But yeah, we've actually played 3 mono red mirrors. Played against Boros Burn, mono red prowess, and mono red burn. What is going on with Magic right now? Okay, no lander, so mulligan. Easy keep. Do we put back? This is an interesting one. Guess skewer. We're gonna take a lot of damage this game. Goblin Guide, huh? Helps if I tap the white mana. Okay. Let's go ahead and eat the Goblin Guide since they can't hit us with a... Yep. Went after the Eidolon, cool. So while you can't skull crack me, going to grab a basic mountain, suspend this, that way I can crack this and hopefully set up lethal next turn. Yeah, I could see why Sanctity over Combustion, though, Brian, would be my question. Like, what are you trying to stop that Leyline stops that, whatchamacallit does not? And the same thing with Alpine Moon. What are you trying to shut down with Alpine Moon that something like Tunnel Ingus doesn't kind of solve? I mean, it shuts off opposing red decks depending on their particular composition of creatures. Like, against Prowess, it's significantly worse than regular Burn. Who plays what describe as Black Burn and it's obnoxious? Care to explain what's in the deck? Really want to keep Mulligan. Hand's not great, but we keep. Get rid of Sacred Foundry. Gotcha. Yep, not a great hand against whatever our opponent's doing, regardless. Could be a... So people are going to ask the question, why keep the fetch land and fetch Sacred Foundry over just keeping Sacred Foundry and putting the fetch in their deck? That particular thing has more to do with thinning the deck a little bit. So our opponent is Bant or Temur Snow. No, they're not Dimir Wurza. They could be Uro Wurza, which is very Uroing. Chancellor of the Dross? I don't even remember what half that stuff does. I'm presuming it has some type of effect whenever you reveal it at the beginning of the game. Yep. We're going to get mana leaked at some point anyway, so... Blast Zone ruins her day. Huh. Okay. Well, what version of Tron are you struggling with? Like, Green Tron shouldn't really particularly be an issue. So I could try to kill Jace here, but I think we just want to try to get our opponent dead. They're going to accrue a massive amount of card advantage over time. And they could use this Field of Ruin to kind of... Wow, they're really going to try to deny me draw steps that way? It's a card on top. It's probably a land then. Okay, they're a Mystic deck. That explains a lot. Do you have Path here? They're willingly letting me keep Eidolon. Interesting. So the problem is here, if I use Skullcrack and they have... we're in rough shape here. A lot of it depends on what's on an opponent's hand, obviously. Alright. Show me Path to Exile. Do you have the Force of Negation too? Wow, they just had it all. Alright. I want it all, and I want it now. It is Bant Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, they were nice enough to give us another Eidolon. Cool. 9. Yeah, game's over. So we could do this. Draw a land. Play an Eidolon. They Violin Batterskull. Or Stoneforge Batterskull. And then... Yay! beginning to look a lot like Stoneforge. Let's bring in the Rampaging Frostodons. This is a matchup you probably want to try him in. Exquisite Firecrafts, similarly reasonable. Some number of Smash to Smithereens here. Cards that actively aren't good. Riftbolt might be bad in the face of... Hold on, let me look up a deck list here. Stone Forge Stick. Banned Snowblade. Okay, so they are playing 3 Fairy, which is a reason to not leave in Riftbolts. Skewer the Critics likewise could be a tad awkward. So am I supposed to take out those? Feels like it might be just take out these. Because Eidolon's not fantastic, but Eidolon's not bad either. Smash can be a potentially good card, a potentially bad card. Like, it's very high variance, much like Searing Blaze in this matchup, but you have to have answers to Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Well then. Can we count to 20? Guess we'll find out. They could have something like Timely Reinforcements in the sideboard too. Oh, these guys are packing core Firewalkers now? Seriously? Alright, maybe I should run in Path too, apparently. Opponent might be on the turn to Stoneforge plan. Yeah, main deck Skullcrack against Thragtusk and Baloth seems a necessary evil. So this card could either be a huge positive or a huge liability for us. We've got the 4-color thing going on there, huh? So that means Blood Moons might be in our future? Maybe another Coatl? Nope, just a Path to Exile. Path to Exile. Holy awkward manas, Batman. Sure. You have another path? Oh, man. It's just the old get to 5 lands. Yeah, well, there's a Stoneforge Mystic. There's a Coatl coming up. There's no way they let this Boros Charm resolve, right? I don't know how we're winning game 3, but that was funny. Well, that's game 2. We lost game 1, so now we have to try to win game 3 on the draw. I really don't like bringing in Path against a control deck, but I think it might be a necessary evil here. Just to have more answers to turn 2 Stoneforge. 4, 7, 11. Gives us 11 answers to turn 2 Stoneforge. Is that enough? I guess we have to hope between that and Smash we have enough to deal with Batterskull. 1, 2, 3. Keep. Ish. Alright, feels like an Arkham's Astrolabe coming down. Tis terrible, but tis not great. Hey, Goblin Guy just made this hand a little bit better, at least. Supreme Verdicte. Well, there's a Stoneforge. Opponent probably don't want to fetch that away. Let them fetch up. Yield a Batorge So can I kill them? 11. I guess even if they have force here, we can just bolt it then if we have to. So give us more information about what we have to do here. Fetching Supreme Verdict. It's echoing again. Actually, do we want to run this out? Probably not. I'd really like to know what's causing that echo problem. Another Stoneforge Mystic, sure. So their hand is Verdict, Verdict. Do they have 2 Batter Skulls? Is their hand Verdict, Verdict, Batter Skull, Batter Skull? Really? Alright, that's a little scary. Do you block? Merry Christmas. And we got there. What a league this has been. Five-lander, have to mulligan this hand. This hand's pretty solid. I think we go put the uncastable card away. That's mulliganing to 5. So does that put my money on Dredge or Tron? Guess we'll find out soon enough. Well, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. Prowess. Ugh. I think we're going to bait them with the Goblin Guide attack first. See if they bolt so hard. Yep. No. This Eidolon's getting burst lightninged. it's going to hit us. Alright, land into Metamorphose. Probably has a Burst Lightning here, so they're going to 4 and then they just die next turn. Alright, let them do their thing. I have a feeling I'm going to have to take a short break here to go deal with walking the dogs. I do apologize. Alright, so gonna do the sideboarding thing. Bring in the smashes. Bring in the firewalkers. Rest in Peace is a little too cute. And go down the Skull Cracks and a Boros Charm. Maybe I'm just supposed to leave in Skull Crack just to go down on Boros Charms in case our opponent decides that bringing in whatchamacallit's a necessary evil. But I will be right back. Apologize for that. Sorry about that. We're back. Alright, mulligan. Hands keepable. Putting back. Lava Spike or Skull Crack? Probably Skull Crack here. Alright. Yes, I noticed. Alright. So we're in some trouble here. Alright. Dragon's Claw. Yep. Yeah, smashes did I bring in? Did I bring in all three? Nope. I really just need to start bringing in all three smashes. Like, seriously. I'm so tired of losing to this card. Alright, we're just bringing in the third smash if there's a third game. I'm just so tired of losing to that card. Runaway Steamkin, sure. Land drop would be great. Merry Christmas. One takes 3 from this. Anamorphose. One takes 1 from this. Guess I should have just smashed. Would really like to draw a land here. Yep. Should have just smashed that stupid thing that turn. They've gained what, like... one of their last cards, Bedlam Reveler, we're just sitting here going, eh. What on earth is in their hand? Okay. Sure. Very, very painful turn for us. Sure. Sure, ba-dur. Well, if they don't have anything, this is lethal. Are we actually going to finally beat Mono Red Prowess? That is the single weirdest league I've had in a while. So the takeaways from this league: Magic's gonna magic. Better to be lucky than good. No, but seriously, like, what are the odds of playing 4 red mirrors in 5 matches? When I think I've played... Oh, Lord. I don't know. I haven't even played that many red decks in, like, the last month. Or against that many red decks in the last month. So... Huh. Apparently, Magic Online's full in that arena match your collection. What you're playing against. Nice to get the 4-1. Hopefully the echo issues are resolved. I'm going to have to listen back to the video and try to figure out where or when what is causing those echo issues. Because they only seem to pop up in live broadcasts lately. So, anywho, 4-1 finish, actually. I know. As a control player, it's really hard to stomach all that red. But, 4-1. Yeah, 4-1, I know, right? I mean, when you look at the rest of my month, 4-1's pretty good. My record in Modern this month, up until this point, was 12-18. My only 3 2s were with Naya Zoo and Blue-Red Breach. I've gone 1-4 with Mono Red Prowess, 1-4 with Boros Burn, 2-3 with Simic Titanfield, and 2-3 with Blood Moon Jund. So, yay! Anywho, I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. I hope this video is useful to you guys out there. As a friendly reminder, if you happen to like professional wrestling, specifically WWE, I have a brand new YouTube channel out called No BS Wrestling. I have one video up that was a prediction for TakeOver Portland. I should have another video up going sometime late tonight or early tomorrow morning. I have some matters to take care of that have popped up during the stream, so I will take care of that. This has been John for MTG Nexus. I hope everybody is having a great day.